Do we want to restart?
No, we're good.
Okay. Hi.
They're used to us.
Yeah, true. She's ready every time. Welcome to Two Tangled Skeins. I'm Sue, also known as Crafty Knitter 7. Today is Saturday, February 10th, 2018. This is episode 224. And I would like to welcome new and returning viewers.
I'm Trouble. Also known as Toll Baby. I'm Lynn, and you can find us on Ravelry, Facebook, our blog, Twitter, Instagram, Etsy, and YouTube.
All the places.
And you can also find us at places like Rhinebeck and Stitches Midwest.
Mm-hmm. Very, very true.
Offline, too. We're in Meat Space.
Mm-hmm.
No, she can't take me anywhere.
No. And I'm actually going somewhere with her after this, which is, yeah.
So
I have a
public.
faux. I have a faux.
She does. She
And
has a faux, and it's really pretty.
I knit like the wind last night to get the last sleeve done because baby was born. Baby's name is Mackenzie. She was 7 pounds, and she has flaming red hair just like her father.
That will be perfect.
So
it's more green than it looks.
it is. I can't get this color to photograph.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm wearing light blue, and that's teal, and they look the same.
Do the arms look short?
No, they look fine.
Okay.
Babies have little arms.
So this is the All of You 2 pattern by Tega Hilliard, which is not really a cable. It's a free pattern, so it doesn't really matter if I tell you. You're just crossing up here once.
It's a 2-stitch cable, so you don't even need a cable needle for it.
No, and the little buttons I got, those were bought at Rhinebeck. I think, did you find them for me? Or Elizabeth?
I think so. One of us did. Yeah, because you were looking for wooden buttons.
Yeah, and I wanted something really cute.
I think maybe it was Elizabeth.
I knew she was having a girl, so this, I love this yarn.
I know, right?
Yeah, this is Brava Worsted Knit Picks in the Marina colorway.
And she's fondling it.
I'm fondling it because when I tried to use, was it Loops and Thread? The purple stuff? Oh, God, that stuff's awful.
I think that's going to be a teddy bear or something. Some kind of toy.
Yeah, and I mean, this is acrylic. She can wash it. She can dry it in the dryer. It doesn't really matter.
Nope.
So, this was knit on size 4.5mm needles, which is a US 7. So, I sent her a picture on Facebook. And she was like, oh my God, how can I repay you? I'm like, baby, wear a sweater, take a photo. That's your payment.
I'd be like, gimme baby.
Well, there's that too. But yeah, she 28 hours of labor, 2 hours of pushing, emergency C-section.
You're not as grabby as I am.
No.
I'm like, give me the baby. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll hold it.
Yeah.
It's not, you were like, okay, when they're mine, it's one thing. When it's somebody else's, it's something else.
Yeah.
I want all the babies.
Yes. All the babies love you, though.
Most of them. Layla liked me.
So you have a
I have no knitting.
No, but you have a work in progress.
I do. They've seen it, but
doesn't matter.
You haven't seen it out of the frame, so because I was.
I've seen snippets here and there as you were doing it.
Yes, you've seen pieces of it. You've never seen the whole thing. I haven't done any backstitch because I'm not cross stitching and I'm not knitting right now, which is driving me insane. But it means I have a lot more energy to clean my house, which I've spent most of the week doing. With help from my ex-husband, my son, and sometimes my daughter.
Your ex is amazing.
My ex is super amazing because he even loaned me his shark. Yeah. I gave it back to him today because my mommy bought me one of the floor ones.
Those are awesome.
For Christmas.
So quick to use.
Shark is it's a steam mop thing, in case anybody doesn't know. But he's got the big,
the big one.
The big one.
Oh, that's
so
pretty.
This is, and I didn't bring the leaflet, it's the Welcome Little One by Michelle Johnson. It's Great Big Charts, I think it's called, the company. So the fabric is antique. I think is it antique white? Whatever it is. It's ivory or antique white or something like that. It's just Charles Craft 18 count Ada. 18 count is my go-to because I like to make things smaller.
Just so you guys can see.
Because nobody wants this huge poster size thing hanging on their kid's wall.
No.
So I tend to use larger counts like 22 or 18 to make them smaller.
That's nice.
And that way, to me, it looks less like I don't really like the look of 14 count. I don't like the way the X's are a lot more obvious on 14 count.
Yes.
And I like it more in this sort of pointillism style than a bigger count. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or a smaller count.
But it's nice. You can put that in a half decent frame and it's not too big.
Yeah, it is going to need a really good wash before I frame it. Because you can see around here that it's all discolored from at one point when it was sitting out on my desk and my daughter was playing on my desk and there's some eyeshadow
but it
there.
cleans easily, so.
It does wash really easily and I'm going to use some of the Allure on it. So, which is Bijou Basin's proprietary wool wash.
It's my only wool wash.
So, there's a scroll that gets backstitched here that has the baby's name, weight, and date of birth, I think.
Okay.
And there's a whole bunch of backstitching all through here because a lot of the patterning on the giraffe is backstitch. So that's what I got left to do is the backstitch, and the baby is a couple of months old. She's a month and a half old right now.
Who's it for?
My cousin's daughter.
Right.
So
many babies in your life, so I'm just like...
November 29th.
Okay.
So she's 2.5 months old, sorry.
And then there's the work babies, and then the other friend baby, and...
God, my cousin's baby is so cute. She's got the big booty cheeks and the little
teeny... Is that
the
one that was with the picture with Zach?
No, that was my brother's baby.
It's your brother's baby. See, all the babies.
Zach hasn't met my cousin's baby. Zach is my son. My 18-year-old is the junior baby whisperer. He is this generation's baby whisperer because all the babies love him. My niece met him for the first time, not last weekend, but the weekend before. And my daughter was holding her. And she had to go do something, so I literally just took the baby and plopped her in my son's arm, and the baby was like, just staring at my son for like half an hour. It was amazing. Babies are fascinated with him. I don't know why. So, I'm not going to tell you all the flosses I used. I do use DMC. And I used a size 26 needle. Because I find a 24 widens the holes too much.
Yeah.
I used to use a 28 a long time ago when I used to cross stitch, but I'm still getting back into it. So 26 is about right for my skill level right now. And I'm very upset with myself because I can see up here where the stitches are, they're not uneven, but they're not laying flat.
When you wash it, it should help.
Yeah, but there's a technique called railroading where you pass the needle between the two strands of thread that helps it lay flatter. And I wasn't doing that in the purple balloon, and I was doing it in the rest, and you can see the difference. I can see the difference.
So that's why my stitches look like they pop all the time.
But you see how the purple looks and see how the rest of it looks? We'll take a picture and we'll post it in the show notes so that you can see the difference, because when you look at it from the side, you can really tell. And you can see where they got flattened by the Q-snap clamp. Well, so that's another thing that's to be avoided. If you can, use Q-snaps that are larger than your design so that you don't flatten the stitches, because you can tell where it's been. So that's my whip.
Cool. So, I has whips. So I am still working on the My Sister Shawl, which was a mystery knit along by the Cozy Up Knits, which is 5 sisters from Alberta. And there's actually 5 of them.
Oh, okay. But there's somebody corrected and said it was 4 in the mom.
Oh, is it?
On the YouTube channel.
I thought it was 5. Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea who these people are, so I feel bad.
So everybody and their dog has done it and is probably finished, but if you haven't finished it yet, I'm on clue 3, I'm getting there. So this is the
total design has been revealed, so you didn't see it here first.
Yeah. So I was where the marker is, right there.
I love that texturing there.
Yeah, that's where I was, and so I've done this much.
How much more do you have? Well, you're on clue 3.
Yeah, so I finished this, and then I'm going to start up on the other side.
I'll be okay.
And so, the mixture of yarns, and I figured out what this yarn is. It's Ancient Arts yarn in the Inuit art colorway. Because I went through all of my photos on my Google Drive, and I'm like,
she was like, I've got to have this somewhere.
Yeah. And then you said this was Knit Picks, right?
Nope, that is 3 Irish Girls.
3 Irish Girls.
Driftwood,
right?
And in the Adorn sock.
I was like, Selma asked me, I'm like, it's Lynn's. I don't know, Knit Picks. I can't remember.
It wasn't Knit Picks. It was.
And then the gray is Lizu Fingering in the Birch colorway by Julie Aston.
Yes.
And this is knit on a 4 and a 5, but what is this one?
4 and a 4.5.
4 and a 4.5, sorry.
So 6 and a 7, and that looks like a 7.
Yeah, I think that's the 7. So yeah, I'm getting there. Next time you see it, I'll be way over here somewhere. And this is being held in my Emerald Fibers bag, which I absolutely...
Yes, somebody was asking where she got the bag. Emerald Fibers.
Yeah, she's in Ireland. And...
Because somebody was really impressed with your bee bag.
This one?
Yeah.
When I saw it, I was like, do you have any more fabric? She's like, I can get some. Yes, please. And they kind of remind me of the Fringe Co. bags. They're kind of the same style, just the price point's a lot better.
This is me smiling and nodding.
Mm-hmm.
As if I knew what you're talking about.
Oh, well, I don't know if you've seen them on Instagram. People are always posting that. Forget it.
I don't pay attention to bags. Sorry.
Sorry.
Although I have to admit, I have been really liking what Knit for Brains have been putting out.
Mm-hmm.
Because them I do follow.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that I don't follow people, it's that I don't pay attention, really. If it's just a bag, I'm just going to scroll past.
Sorry. I finished the baby sweater, which was for someone else. So I brought
Look what came out!
I brought the socks back out. I just finished increasing for the
gusset.
The gusset. So I just finished that. And this is the BB8 Socks, and I use the basic rib sock pattern by Kate Atherley, but the heel I use from Socks on a Plane, which is by Laura Linneman. It's a short row heel.
It's mustache yarn, by the way.
Yeah, and it's in the self-striping OCD in the BB8 colorway.
Which is why they're matchy-matchy.
Yep.
Hey, Sean might actually get a pair of socks soon.
He will. And they are on 2.75 millimeters, which is a US 2.
I haven't even started Rob socks.
Yeah. So, got both of them going here.
I gotta stop leaning forward because that's sort of not helping.
And this is being housed in my Rhinebeck bag that Kate from Hawthorne Cottage Craft gifted when we went to Rhinebeck.
I have that at work, actually. I use it as a pencil case.
I love it, and my little progress keeper here, Shella, made it for me, so it kind of goes with it. That's that. And then I'm going to mention this. I didn't really knit a lot on it, but I have new needles, so that's why I wanted to mention it. So this is the Afterthought Everything Socks by Erica Kempf Broughton. And this is Nomadic Yarn. This was a gift from Lynn. But if you'll notice, it's not a DPN.
Okay, you have to tell them the colorway.
I don't remember the name.
Get Lucky.
Is it there?
It says right there.
Oh, shoot. Get Lucky. So do you see the needles? These are the new Addy Flexi Flips. They come in this tube. And I will quickly say, because a few people did ask me how I like them. If you don't like DPNs, oh yeah.
Did you just yank that out of the knitting?
No.
Okay. Well, no, because she just pulled it out.
No,
what are you doing?
It was just stuck in here. So it's got the magic loop feel without the extra cord, and it's kind of like DPNs, but you're not getting that extra fiddliness. I don't like all the fiddling with the needles. So once you learn just where to put the needle, like position them when you're knitting, I love it.
Basically, they're a DPN with a little bit of flexible cable in the middle.
Yeah, like this.
Which is really cool.
One tip is super sharp, and the other is just more blunt. So I'm always picking up with this, the sharper one. But
they're a bit expensive, but if you knit a lot of socks, give them a try.
Yeah, the only thing I'd be worried about is second sock syndrome.
I don't have a problem with that. So.
But if this is easier, it's faster, right? Because DPNs are faster. So, yeah, give them a try. I got them at a local store. They were 30 Canadian.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of sizes, not just sock sizes. They go...
And you get 3 in the set.
Yeah.
So.
And then, like I said, they're held in this little tube, which is kind of cool. So that...
I can see you collecting them all just to get the tubes. She doesn't know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
And what bag is it in?
Oh, sorry. This is in one of my older style bags, which is the knot bag, and it's my yoga frogs.
I love that.
And there was only like 2. One of them had to stay home with me. The other one, actually, a close friend bought.
I love the arrow pose frog.
I know. It was like, how can I not keep that? Awesome. So that's all the whips. So now...
There hasn't been a lot of knitting.
No. And like I said, I'm only knitting on 2 things, so I'm probably going to get a lot more finishes this year.
And since I have absolutely nothing that I'm working on, I actually have a couple of reviews. I have a book review and a product review.
Yep.
So I'm going to start with the product review because we were just talking about the cross stitch.
Yep.
So Sue loaned me her Michaels brand frame for this project because I needed a larger surface area and I seem to have misplaced my larger Q-snaps. So she has the Michaels brand and I have the Q-snaps brand. They're extremely different to stitch with. I actually ended up taking the clamps off of mine and using them on hers.
They're tighter.
They are a lot because these slide around.
These slide, but you've got to push them.
Yeah, you have to push those. But these are really slidey and I found them really hard to work with. The plastic frame itself is very different. It's a completely different kind of plastic.
Yeah, totally. This is a lot heavier.
Each piece of these is a straight with a little corner.
Yeah.
These are all straight pieces with a separate corner. So everything comes apart and they pull apart very easily. They will pull apart while you're stitching, which I found very irritating.
See, I had the elastic fabric thing around it. That kind of helped.
Yeah, you use a grime guard.
Yeah.
And I'm an old school stitcher. I don't like the grime guards and I don't like the needle keepers. All the ones that Mandy has given me, I actually use them as magnets at work and everybody thinks they're really cute. So that's what I use mine for because I don't like, my needle case actually is magnetic so that I'm used to that.
Yep.
And yeah, I have to say it's worth the extra money as far as I'm concerned to buy the Q-Snap brand rather than the Michaels knockoff.
And you can probably get them on Amazon.
You can get them on Amazon. Most stitching supply places online have them.
They don't even have these at Michaels, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Michaels carries both.
Every time I've gone, they haven't had them.
I bought that at Michaels, actually.
Yeah, so they must go through them.
They do. And, I mean, these are less expensive. If you fold up your fabric on the sides, this would be fine.
That's what I do.
My problem is that I couldn't get it tight enough to stitch with. That's why I took off her clamps and I used mine. Yeah. So
totally makes sense.
That's basically, I mean, if you're not the type of person who has to have your fabric super taut to stitch with, this would be fine and you'd save money. It drives me a little bit batty though because I need mine really, really tight. Yeah. So that's why I use those instead. Because you can even see, I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see, but this plastic is a little bit translucent. The frame. This one is the same PVC as the clamps. Yeah. This one, the clamps are PVC, but the base frame is a sort of rubberized plastic.
It looks hollow.
It is. They're both hollow.
Yeah. Because
this is just PVC piping. But it's more of a rubberized plastic, and it's a much sturdier frame.
Definitely.
This feels like PVC pipe.
Yep.
I mean, it's not a bad frame, and some people love them.
When I'm doing the smaller ones, I like this. But I needed a bigger one, so I got that. But you had given me a couple of these.
Yep. So I love my Q-Snaps. I just need to go out and buy myself a bigger one now.
It's good that I got this back because I have to start a project for somebody who's getting married in 2 years. And I think I should start it now.
Do you?
Who that is. You saw the...
Apparently I ran the vegetable peeler over my nail too.
Yeah.
I went and vegetable peeled my finger this morning trying to peel a turnip because I'm gifted. So the other review I have is a book review that was sent to us by, what are they called again?
F&W Media.
Right, which is Interweave, what used to be called Interweave Press. So we got the Knit Mitts. Your handy is actually highlighted. See what they did there?
Yep.
Guide to Knitting Mittens and Gloves. So it's by Kate Averley, which means that the patterns are very well written and very clear. And it's interweave, which means that the photography is stunning.
Outstanding.
I mean, they're big pictures. They're really clear illustrations.
All the sizing charts that you just,
That's part of my notes.
There you go. All professional and stuff, guys.
I wrote notes.
I know.
I was going through the book and I was like,
but you're always better at book reviews than I am. I'm just like pictures.
I'm used to having to produce reports based on things I've read, so I've had to do this for a long time. Mm-hmm. So the first half of the book, actually a little bit more than the first half of the book, this is where the patterns start on page 80. Page 79, sorry. So the first 79 pages are an instruction manual on everything you wanted to, you could ever want to know about knitting mittens and gloves for your family. A lot of how to design your own patterns information. There's at least 5 or 6 pages on that. There are charts and instructions on how to measure for the best fit for every single part of your hand. So you can customize patterns that will fit your hand better. Because one of the patterns I use most is the basic child's mitt. And I can't remember who designed it now. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I just size up the needles and yarn to make bigger mitts. But they're really... One time I was trying to make a mitt for one of my kids' teachers, and they came out so big that they were a little bit loose on my dad, who has big hands. So this woman was never going to be able to use these mitts. My dad now uses them for like shoveling the driveway and clearing off the car and stuff. But they ended up way bigger than I intended to, so they were never given to their intended recipient because I didn't know how to fit mittens. You will find... Actually, most of the how-to section is on how to get them to fit properly. There are some basic patterns to show you how to get started designing. So you've got the basic mitten pattern, which is this. Then you've got, they show you other things like how to add a dummy cord. I don't know what those are actually called, but I've always called them a dummy cord because I'm a dummy and I lose my mitts.
They're not just for kids.
Basic fingerless mitts and how to modify them. Like sizing charts. So many sizing charts. There are pages and pages and pages of them.
She's very, very thorough.
Yes. Basic thrummed mitten, which I want to learn how to do because I need warm mittens. Designing your own mittens. There's a formula. Simple basic mitten with a lining. That's 2 mittens in one, basically.
That you knit at once, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
How to distribute your decreases evenly around the pattern. There's how to... Basic gloves, because fingers were added. Basic fingerless glove. Oh.
Basic baby.
Sorry. I'm a sucker for the babies. And I mean, they're different cuff stitches that you can use, and it describes how the twist will fit, how the stretch will feel with the different ones. How to add conductive thread for those of you who can't put their phones down.
Yeah.
How to add a string. How to add a little tab on the back, so that to make flip top mittens. What's mitten harness? Oh, I'm sorry. It's like a little pocket that attaches to the outside of your coat for your mittens. Huh. How to make a fabric lining for a mitten. And like, it's so really, really informative. All the instruction parts have very, very clear illustrations. So how to like hold the stitches for the thumb. This one is picking up stitches. Mm-hmm. This is all the different places where you're going to measure for gloves. Sorry, it's hard to hold on to. The charts and instructions on how to measure for the best fit. There are pages and pages of this. Sorry, I should have put stickies there too. There is a section for you to write in your own personal measurements for an easy reference. Each pattern has notes on how to size it, like how to what to check out to make sure that it fits you properly. And it has which yarns best suit the pattern, not just what they use to knit it, but which type of yarn, which material, which weight will work best for the pattern. There are multiple photos of each pattern to show different individual features. And the instructional... Oh, okay, I've already gone over that. So now we'll show you the patterns.
Pretty.
So the patterns start here. There are 9 patterns in the book, as you can see here. And they all cover a different technique that is described in the first half of the book. What did I tell you about the photography, I mean? So the first pattern is the twisting, which is super pretty. It's a fingerless mitt that has this gorgeous sort of roaming cable design on the back.
You might have a better picture on the next page.
Yeah, because as I said, there are different...
There you go.
Lots of different pictures of every pattern. Each pattern takes 5 or 6 pages because of all the pictures. This one is called Winstanley? Is that what that says?
Winstanley, yeah.
This is a nice zigzag pattern that's super cool. I'm trying not to show too much of the latter page, like the further pages, because it does show off a lot of the pattern.
Yeah.
This one is the guillemets, which is French for
apostrophes. No,
is it quotation marks?
Quotations.
Yeah, that's a colorwork pattern. The next one is Forsyth. It's a fingerless lace mitt. It's a really pretty pattern. Then we have the Braywick, which is a colorwork fingerless mitt. Super pretty.
All those little bits of sock yarn. Is that like a fingering?
I do not know. Let's find out. That is, yes, number 1, super fine. So it's a fingering.
That'd be awesome for all those little bits you have. Like
you could make this out of minis. Not that we have a lot of minis or anything.
No, never.
These are the Hanet mitts, which are very similar to Tin Can Knits Antlers pattern. It's a full mitt. It's a tighter sort of fabric. This is done in worsted. Or you could do it in DK if you wanted a slightly looser gauge, like a slightly looser fabric. And like there are notes on each pattern page, like choose a size close to or a little larger than actual hand circumference. Go larger if you want to lay a fingerless mitten underneath for extra warmth. It tells you yarn, use number 4 medium. They use Lang Yarn's yak, 50% yak, 50% merino. So they're telling you, like, they give you a lot of information. Hand circumference. They tell you what the hand circumference is for the finished size, the mitten length, so that you can adjust the fit the way you want it. And then they tell you the sample is the smallest size used, and used 63 grams, which is 180 yards of yarn.
It's not a lot.
Like, it's very, very detailed. The next one is my favorite. It's Warmth of the Sun. Can you guess why it's my favorite? So these are gorgeous colorwork mitts. They're with the triangular top. And they have braiding along the edges. I don't know if that's because they're knit separate and you connect them. I didn't read the pattern in much of a detailed way. But they're gorgeous, gorgeous mitts. Look at the detail. And there's 2 left. There is this one, which is Instant Mash. It's a nice, very thick, warm mitten. I think these are actually bulky. Yep. And the last one is another pair of fingering. These are called Roebling. Sorry, I'm trying to read it upside down. It's a weird font. So these are Roebling. They're a really gorgeous colorwork pattern. Gloves. I love the fact that her eyes are crossed. I just noticed that. So there's really a lot of information. And there's the baby again. So there's a very, very clear index at the back for each technique and different things to avoid, like laddering and swatching and using silk hankies and different cast-ons, felting, all kinds of stuff. There's even a discussion about yarn twist and yarn plies and things like that. So it is a great book. They say there are 10 patterns. They're only 9. There are a couple of basic patterns, like how to design a mitten, how to, you know, just a basic. But there are only 9 patterns in there. They're nuts. Unless they're counting the thrummed one, because they have the thrummed one on the cover here.
Yeah.
It's possible. That's valid. So I very much enjoyed reading this book. Now I'm going to let Sue read it. Because I went home with it. Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. And I wasn't familiar with Kate Averley patterns before. I've never knit one of her patterns. So
well, we got her custom socks and her beginner's guide to writing. We got those two as well. But
but they were more for you.
Yeah. But they're a wealth of information.
Yeah. Very, very well designed book. Extremely well written.
Yeah.
Basically, when you pick up a book by Kate Averley, you're pretty well assured that you're going to learn something. So I was very impressed with it.
Yep. Cool. So that's done. I have stash.
Since I just waffled on for 10 minutes.
I showed you my needles, and this stash is something I got a week or two ago, and I didn't actually show it.
She forgot.
Yeah. It is the Unini, the Magic Unicorn Yarn Kit from Anna, who is Dunkelgrün. Is that how you say that?
Dunkelgrün.
Yeah, Dunkelgrün. Yeah. So she's been making the kits herself. So she's dyeing the yarn, doing the skeins, making the balls, and she asked me if I wanted to trade for a bag.
Cool.
So she's getting a Doctor Who bag.
Well.
Yes, so I was really, really happy.
And I'll trade you one of my kids.
And I was really hard to decide between the white or the blue, and I'm like, gotta go with the blue.
Go with the blue. That was the original, and it's gorgeous.
So I really love it, and it's organic merino DK yarn. Main color's light blue, and like I said, there's all the everything else. I put it in the Ziploc because the cellophane paper was ripping. Yeah. So,
and I mean, she created all those colorways herself. She dyes every single kit individually. It's
time.
It's awesome.
It's a lot of time.
They are definitely worth the price.
Yeah.
And she's done an amazing job with those.
So the next thing is a reminder about the giveaway we have going on. So Valentine inspired. So you can win this big bag.
Sorry.
And then there's a smaller version inside. And it has, this one has black polka dots. This one has red polka dots. And then we also included a skein of roundabout yarn. And this is her White Pines worsted superwash, 100% superwash merino wool, 220 yards.
It's squishy.
She'll tell you the colorway name.
Yes, I will. It is Peaches and Strawberries.
So, one more week. Next Saturday, we are going to draw for this.
Although, personally, I would have put raspberries with peach, but that's just me.
That's okay.
No, it's squishy. I want it.
Okay.
I'll put it back.
So, as per the normal rules, 1 post per person, you need to be a member, and no chatter. Yes, we're very picky about that. So, 1 more week. We will close the thread just before we record. Lots of time.
So you know.
The prompt. The prompt. Tell us what you love or hate about Valentine's. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people are on the fence. Some people it's both.
I just think if my boyfriend's only going to be super nice to me once a year.
I like the cheap chocolate. Everything goes on sale.
Fair enough.
So,
going shopping on Thursday, are you?
Oh, yeah. Well, there's another reason I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. It's our anniversary's on February 8th. So
it was just the other day.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't have to make a reservation for a restaurant.
And they're already stupidly sicky mushy on their anniversary, so.
Never. Stop it.
Anybody who follows her on Facebook knows the truth.
Yep. So, that's the giveaway. Shut up. Next is Broke Save Me Money. I just copied that from an old show notes because we changed it. But hey.
Okay, so the Tangled Skeins
me
has a 30% off coupon code until February 14th, which is Wednesday. Yeah, coupon. No, sale.
Sale.
No coupon code needed. Just go to her store and clean her out.
Yeah. Frog Peak Creations gave us 2 coupon codes that is in the Ravelry group. One is 50% off sale until March 7th, and the code is Xmas 50, so XMAS 50. I think she's trying to get rid of Christmas stuff.
Oh, that makes sense.
Christmas stuff. And then
her other code is 15% off an ongoing sale. You can't use them together. So until March 7th, you might want to use the other one. But her ongoing coupon code is the number 2 Tangled 15.
Yep. Bags by Awesome Granny, 10% off. Ongoing. Haha. And the code is the number 2 TS10. And I was watching her podcast the other day. I love her accent. Darlene. I love it.
She's so cute. 6 Munchkin Stitching has a 10% off ongoing... Now I can't say 10%. Ongoing coupon code, and the code is the word 2 Tangled and the number 10.
Yep.
That's it.
That's all she wrote, folks.
Short and sweet. That's what happens when we don't knit.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping to have more FOs, so, you know. But always something for me on the needles. So when that shawl's done, I'm probably going to be making the Road to Rhinebeck shawl by Mina. So, and that's Kate's fault. Your fault, Kate. You showed it on your podcast. I blame you.
Kate's just sitting there going, not sorry. Not the slightest bit sorry.
No,
Too bad.
I'm doing it in an apple green and a dark gray. It'd be nice.
Better start planning your Rhinebeck trick now, Kate.
So, yep. We're going to the craft store.
Yep.
We'll edit this thing real quick and it'll be up soon. Have a great week, everybody. Great week, everybody. Have a great week. Bye. Where's the stop button? Where's the stop button?